Please join us January 18th, 2012 for the Dade Real Estate Investors first meeting for 2012, where we're going to discuss the successful among us. There'll be one-on-one interviews with DREIA members who succeeded in real estate. January 21st, we have Ron LeGrand all day. I don't know how many people know Ron LeGrand, but you need to get acquainted. He's the granddaddy of it all. He's older than anyone in this room, but he's still making lots of money in real estate and wants to talk to us about his success. Many of us in this room got started with Ron LeGrand. Eddie Miller got started with Ron LeGrand. That's January 21st. So we'll see you at DREIA in Miami Shores Country Club on January 18th for the successful among us. And now I want to introduce Ramon Rivas with Reifax.
You can also find out-of-state buyers, which are basically all buyers that purchased property in the last 12 months with a mailing address that is from outside the state of Florida. So those are also good buyers for you. We have the out-of-state holders, which are basically corporations or trusts that own property in the area that you have your property, so that you can market to them as well. And they have a mailing address from out of the state of Florida.
I also want to thank Dave Dinkel for showing up today. We had a wonderful breakthrough weekend a few weeks ago. How many were at that? That was good, right? And Dave is, believe it or not, they didn't end the mentoring program, so I'll be sure if anyone is interested in the mentoring program, please be sure and call the DREIA office or email me at info@dreia.org, and we'll fix you up with an application and Dave will contact you personally. So one of the things that Dave talks about in the mentor program, and a lot of people talk about, is land trusts and closing in land trusts. And I'm sure you've heard that title companies are not always familiar with them. They get a little giddy. They don't understand them. They want to ask too many questions that really don't matter. If, as an investor, if you're going to use a land trust, you need to work with title companies and attorneys who understand them, as well as, and we can cover this with Dave later, as well as investors who understand them. So our corporate member, Rock Title, has generously sponsored today's meeting to talk about the benefits of land trusts, and we're going to get into closing with land trusts. So please welcome Stacy Sherman.
What we're here today to talk about is land trusts. And to start this off, I want to make this very informal. If anyone has any questions, feel free to just shoot them out. Ask me whatever questions you may have. You know how title companies can go ahead and search the public records, and I can find out very easily who owns 123 Main Street. And it can be Mr. John Smith. And then I can go and look up anything I want to know on Mr. John Smith and what else he owns. But with this, it's going to say the name of the land trust. It can be ABC Land Trust, 123 Main Street Land Trust. Your name is nowhere on that. And that differs from, I know what a lot of investors like to do also, is they want to purchase in the name of a corporation. They want to purchase in the name of an LLC. Well, those of you that have closed in those before, what's the first thing the title company asks you for when you're purchasing that way? Sure, many of you have purchased like that. No? Anyone? Right. Copies of the docs, the corporate resolution, the articles of organization. That's all also, we could pull that on Sunbiz very easily. So we know who the managing member is. We know who the president is. Just because public records is going to say ABC Corporation doesn't mean I can't find out who the members are of ABC Corporation.
Have you done closings where, let's say, Dave Dinkel is a beneficiary of a trust, and he sells the property to JC?
He sells the property to JC.
He sells the beneficial interest to JC.
Okay, that was my question, the beneficial interest.
What do you do in terms of a HUD, conducting a closing? What goes on in that case?
Nothing really gets recorded. Nothing has to get recorded because, again, title to the property is not changing.
Okay, so Dave and JC can have their closing right here.
They could have their closing right here. We're just going to draw up a legal affidavit. We'll file it in our office, and it's just going to say Dave transferred his beneficial interest in ABC Land Trust to JC. We'll have a little financial statement drawn up. Again, we're not going to do a HUD because it's not a RESPA transaction. Discussing whatever fees are being transferred due to that, and that's it. We don't record a thing.
Let's say Bill Leon was a trustee before for Dave. Now, JC wants your firm to be, or his brother, whatever, to be new trustee. What has to be filed
we have to terminate the land trust.
You have to terminate the land trust. So the
and the land trust will get terminated in the public records.
Now, is there stamps with that?
To do that, no.
No, okay. So the process...
But it's just a land trust agreement. That's not a deed.
So, but the changing of a trustee, does that require a new filing?
No, but you have to terminate the land trust agreement.
There's other uses for land trust besides what we have here, and I have an issue with the dock stamps. One of the attorney on Saturday said, you don't have to pay dock stamps on the transfer. Well, I got into head-to-heads with the Broward County attorneys, Broward County attorney, and Miss Patton, who's the clerk of the court. Miss Patton wanted me to pay dock stamps on the transfer. The county attorney said no. The county attorney was wrong. It's in the statute, the dock stamps have to be paid on transfer of beneficial ownership. And the reason they were arguing is because I hadn't put a price on the warranty deed. So I said to them, I'll save you guys a lot of problems. And now I have 2 warranty deeds I use. One has a price on it, so yes, they see the price of the property, but they're not going to come back years later and say, you didn't pay dock stamps, now there's a fine, penalty, and bingo, the land trust may not be valid, or the deed may not be valid. We pay dock stamps on everything we're supposed to. Now, what you guys are doing is you're sending in a separate document that says purchase price of the property was $44,000, dock stamps due are such and such, and we're paying the dock stamps. But on the deed itself, it says $10 other good and valuable consideration, so they should put $100 in the public record. They don't have to, though. They can put $44,000 in there. So, if you guys are going to do land trust, I suggest you learn how to do them and get somebody that's doing them on a regular basis, not me. We only do them for our mentor students and for ourselves. So, the point of all this is be careful of opinions, because everybody has their own, and they may all be right to some degree. The one time you do it, you may not be.
Wondering if you could help us with a newsletter item. It takes us through an investor-type transaction, just so that we can have it in the DREIA.com. Okay.
Absolutely.
And let's give Stacy a big round of applause. Thanks a lot.
Thank you guys.
Okay. Thanks a lot for coming today. Please remember, January 18th, the Successes Among Us. This will be one meeting where Dave won't be speaking, but somebody that he knows very well will be speaking. And then we'll follow up on January 21st with Ron LeGrand, a great Getting Started program. So thanks for coming, and happy holidays.